Okay, now we're on the second page. We're going to change it a little bit because now we're going to have a half in the front. I'm going to show you how to do it with a half. So find the x-intercepts. We're going to follow the same steps. We're going to go negative a half x squared plus 2x plus 6 equaling to 0. Now I hate that half. I hate that it's a half. So I'm going to just multiply everything by 2, and that's going to clear my fraction here. So you know what? I'm going to multiply everything by 2 here. Or I could put 0.5. You know what? I'm going to even do better. I'm going to multiply. I want the first one to be a positive. So I'm going to multiply this whole equation by negative 2. Now, you don't have to do this. You don't have to multiply by negative 2 and figure it out. What you could do, you can use the big formula, the quadratic formula, put in 0.5 for negative 0.5 for A, B 2, and C is 6. But I'm going to multiply everything by negative 2. So half times the negative, this just becomes x squared. So if I multiply this by negative 2, it becomes minus 4x. And then 6 by negative 2 becomes minus 12. And that all equals 0. And now I can factor it. And I can set up my two brackets and factor it. So I need two numbers that multiply to give me negative 12, but add to give me negative 4. And I keep thinking, well, 6 and 2 probably work. So probably negative 6 and positive 2. So negative 6 times 2 is negative 12. Negative 6 plus 2 is negative 4. And then when each bracket equals 0, so we know x minus 6 equals 0. So we know x will equal just the opposite sign, 6. And x here will equal negative 2. So we're just going to graph these 2 points. We're going to graph negative 2 here. And then we're going to graph 6 over there. So we graph our 2 points. Wow. Okay, axis of symmetry, halfway between. We average these two. So to find our axis, we go 6 plus negative 2 over 2. We find the average. I like to go across. That's 4 over 2, 2. So 2. Axis 2 is our axis of symmetry. So right on that 2, we're going to take a ruler. We're going to go up and down here. And we're going to draw our axis of symmetry. Okay, halfway between the 2 points. So it's halfway between the 2 points. Now we're going to find the y. Well, we got to use the first equation. We've got to use that first equation. So we're going to we'll write it f of x, negative a half x squared plus 2x plus 6. We're going to plug the 2 in. So negative a half, 2 squared plus 2 times 2 plus 6. Now, some people instead, they can put 0.5 in here. So if you prefer here, you can put 0.5. So when you put in your calculator, you might find that easier. So you can put negative 0.5 in the calculator. So let's use our calculator here, our calculator. So negative 0.5 bracket 2 squared plus 2 bracket 2 plus 6. So we just type that all in the calculator. 8. So our f at x, or f at is 8. So our vertex, 2, 8. The 2, then the 8. So 2, and then you got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You put a dot. A now, step pattern. A is negative a half. So not 1, 3. We've got to multiply the 1, 3, 5. The next one's 7 by a half. So then the first one's negative 0.5. The second one's negative 1.5. And that's negative 2.5. And then negative 3.5. So let's try it out. Over 1 down 0.5. Over 1 down 1.5. Over 1 down 1, 2.5. Over 1, then you go half, 1, 2, 3. Well, it worked. Same on the other side. Over 1 half, over 1 here, over 1, matches up over here, over 1 there, and then we can draw our nice parabola here through all these points. Now we can also check the y-intercept. What the y-intercept is at 6. And look at our equation here. There's the y-intercept, 6, so it worked. So this other equation gives the y-intercept 6. There's the y-intercept right there, 6. Okay, if whoever's in the class wants to pause it, if anyone needs to copy that, we can pause it. Now we're moving on to the next one here. Okay, let's sketch this one now. It starts with a 2. Interesting. Same, 2x squared plus 8x plus 8 equals 0. Well, everything here is divisible by 2. So if I divide everything by 2 here, so I get x squared, don't have enough room, plus 4x plus 4 equals 0. Okay, let's figure out our two brackets. So look, 2 divided by 2 is 1, 8 divided by 2 is 4, 8 divided by 2 is 4. Now, number that multiplies to give you 4 and adds, so it's x plus 2. This is a trick one, because there's only one answer. It's negative 2. Like x plus 2 equals 0, right? So x plus 2 equals 0. So x equals negative 2. There's only one answer, and it's twice. It's right here. If there's only one answer, that's where the axis of symmetry is. So our axis of symmetry is the same. So this axis of symmetry is also at negative 2. So the graph has to go, the axis, this is where the graph, there's only one point. So the average of one point is that point. So our axis of symmetry, a trick question, goes right through that point, that negative 2. If you only get one answer, then the axis of symmetry is only there. Now we can find our vertex by using the negative 2. So we can go f at x is 2x squared plus 8x plus 8. Okay, so 2, we're going to go negative 2 plus 8 times negative 2 plus 8. And then don't forget the square there. We go to our calculator. And we go bracket. Oh no, there's no bracket. It's 2 bracket negative 2 squared plus 8 bracket negative 2 plus 8. 0. Interesting. So our vertex is negative 2, comma 0. Oh, that makes sense. Our vertex is right there. Let's see what our step pattern is. Kind of makes sense because that's where our x-intercept is. Okay, so our step pattern, A is 2. So instead of 1, 3, 5, right, A in the front. In the front is 2. In the front of the x squared, 2. So A is 2. You multiply it by 2. So you get 2, 6, 10. So on the first one, you go over 1, up, 1, 2. Then over 1, up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll do the same on this side. So a nice skinny stretch graph. And that's over 1, up 2, over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we'll connect the points here. And then that's it. We'll just call this one f at x. Should have labeled the other one on top. Should have called that one h of x. And that's our graph. Notice, look, the y-intercept is at 8. 4, 6, 8. The y-intercept is also at 8 here. Matches up. Okay, guys, so if whoever's doing in there, if they want to pause it, they can pause and show this page for the students. If not, I'm going to go to the last video to page 3.